Back in Lagos, it's time now for stories that are trending now, and Olamide definitely is standing by to bring us up to speed. Olamide, good morning.
Good morning, Tina. How are you doing today?
Very well, very well.
I spot a new face. Good morning, Sam.
Good morning.
I've got some good stories
for you. It's not a new face.
I'm sorry, I'm the new face. Yes. My apologies. I hope you enjoy my stories.
Yeah.
Good morning, Nigeria. I like to say that TVC has a finger on the pulse and our eyes constantly on the streets on behalf of you guys. And if it's a trending story, we're going to bring it on here and have some good and decent dialogue about it. In our first story, it's a somber one. Tragedy has struck Delta State as Shimite Bello Love, the special advisor on trade and export to the governor, died under suspicious circumstances on Easter Monday. Now, early reports pointed to possible poisoning. Shimite was found unconscious and foaming at the mouth in her home in Asaba, according to family sources. Now, despite being rushed to St. Luke's Hospital, she was confirmed dead on arrival. Her husband, Pastor David Favor Love, unfortunately has been arrested as the Delta State Police Command launched investigations into the circumstances surrounding her death. Family members allege that he had been isolating her and controlling her property before her sudden death. She was once described as full of life and deeply committed to public service, and her untimely death has, of course, left many Nigerians shocked and demanding answers. This is very, very scary. I argue that it's a human rights issue. This femicide, it's not just an isolated event. We have to protect women, and we have to look at the signs of abuse before they end up in tragedy like this. But let's take a look at social media. Beautiful young woman, her whole life ahead of her. Human rights activist Dr. Abiola Akiyode says, suspected femicide in the governor's backyard. Shimite Bello, Delta governor's advisor, allegedly poisoned, husband arrested. We demand justice, transparency, and accountability. This is not just a personal tragedy, it is a human rights issue. No woman is safe until all women are safe. I concur. We'll take one more tweet. Priye says, marrying a wicked partner is dangerously risky. We'll wait until the investigations unfold and we can really see if this was a case of spousal murder. Very sad. In our next story, a video making the rounds online shows Tanzanian superstar Diamond Platnumz handing out $100 bills to mobile policemen assigned to him during his visit to Nigeria for fellow artist Juma Jux's wedding to socialite Priscilla Ojo, the daughter of actress Iyabo Ojo. Now, while this might seem like a benevolent act, some other Nigerian police officers were criticized just last week for accepting 5,000 naira cash gifts from Chinese nationals. The question now is, are we applying the same standard to both cases, or are foreign currency tips more acceptable? My question is this: what are the ethics of currency giving and of giving money? Is it more acceptable when we do it in 100 naira bills, or more acceptable when a fellow African does it as opposed to a Chinese national? But I'm going to take some tweets on this now. Bara says, this one is different from those that line up like primary school students. He's just appreciating them, and it's normal. We'll take one more tweet. Toby Shangotola says, is rewarding hard work at a duty post a wrong thing to do? Now, team, I'd love you guys to weigh in on this. Is it more acceptable when we're giving out $100 bills? What are our ethics on currency giving? And should police be giving money at all for doing their jobs?
Uncle Sam, you want to start?
I think it is open obscenity for them to be given money like that. If you want to give tips is a normal thing in transactions and in communications. If you're giving gifts, you don't make an open show of it. It is the obscenity more than any other thing that offends the sensibility, because the people were working for them, so they were supposed to be paid for their services. Right. And you couldn't be bribing them because you weren't seeking any other favor from them. But to make it a public show, that's the terrible thing about it. I think it's the obscenity of it.
Right.
And I think it goes into the same society, the depth of a society that wants to be showy. And that is the sickening part of it.
Okay, so I want to touch on the alleged femicide. May her soul, that's the soul of Shimite Bello Love, rest in peace. It's sad to see a promising woman of her caliber, which a lot of persons have spoken about her, ethics and what she has done in the society, pass in that manner, even though the case has not been proven. Her husband is in protective custody. He wasn't arrested because he was said to have called the police, saying that the family of his late wife, after his life, that he is the one that carried out or that killed her. So he is in protective custody. He's not arrested. He just submitted himself to the police for protection. But investigations are being carried out. I hope we get to the root of this matter and that whoever is involved is brought to justice at the end of the day. We need to understand the circumstances upon which she passed.
Exactly. What a sad one. May her soul definitely rest in peace. And I really want investigation should be taking place to find out what really happened. Because right now we cannot just nail the husband on the head. These are all speculations. But I cannot wait to find out what really happened. May her soul rest in peace. Such a bright woman, such a bright future, she had there. May her soul rest in peace one more time. And moving on to the Diamond Platinum story. Diamond has been given a lot of $100 bills. I don't know. Olamide, did you see the one he was given in the club? I don't know what is happening to Diamond with all that money. But I also think that was bad because these are police officers. They are wearing uniforms. So the ones he did in the club, we didn't really talk because, they're just normal people in the club that he was giving money to. But when it now comes to people wearing the uniform that we respect so much, I think even if he wanted to give them, there's nothing bad with tip. We all love tips, but he could have given them without, the videos of that.
Right, so I would like to advocate closure for the family of Shimite who lost a life, allegedly poisoned my husband, but only God knows what really happened. Proper investigation has to be done, and whoever is found, culpable must be, brought to, justice. Is it possible for us to see our police officers, one way or the other, not collecting bribe, not collecting money or tips or anything? So, or is it proper to now say that that would be when the camel goes through the eye of the needle, or how do they put it?
Well, whichever way we want to
look
at
it. I
I
want to say that in the case of the Delta tragedies, it's unfortunate that in a state where we are seeing a lot of work being done by the governor, it is this kind of sad story that is coming out, and it has a tinge of bad romance, and we hope that is not what happened. Shakespeare talked about love being cold fire, wolfish ravening lamb, fiend angelica. That love is not just a one-sided thing, and it could be cruel. We hope this is not the case.
All right, Olamide.
Thank you very much. It's interesting. It will be interesting to see how this plays out for us to get to the root cause of her death, as many of her family members have come out to the media to say, her husband tried to have her sign over some of her documents and assets before she passed. So we'll see how that plays out. In our next story, a viral video is capturing attention as a Nigerian woman showcases how she transforms plantain and banana stems into reusable hair attachments, all from the comfort of her home. Take a look at this viral and entrepreneurial video.
This lady is making attachments from plantain stems. Like this attachment you are seeing here is being made from plantain stems. Is that not amazing? Ma, please, I want to know how you came about this whole thing. What process does this stuff pass through, like from the stems to this attachment? How do you get to do it?
The first step is to cut the stem. Yes, from the pseudo stem. After the combing, we now go for softening.
So this particular attachment now can be used for your hair?
Sure. This one I have here is from this.
Wow.
Yes.
So they don't need to buy expensive hairs from outside the country again?
Well, for now, this is expensive.
Oh,
anyway, yes,
okay.
Because of the manual processing.
This eco-friendly innovation is already being embraced by women in her community. And I think it's a shining example of the creative and sustainable entrepreneurial spirit Nigerians are known for. Now, with the right support, who knows, maybe this could go global in times to come. But I will say here on this segment several times, I've taken stories of Nigerians, young Nigerians, older Nigerians, turning trash into treasure. But I have to say, past media publicity and saying, on air, you did a good job. How can the government and people around help to carry these ideas and innovations to the next level and make them viable and tangible exports. But let's take a look at social media. Nigerians are very supportive about this type of thing. I love it. Ruben says, this is a sustainable business and environmentally friendly. Any business-minded person should invest to expand this. It will help reduce the import bill of the wig industry on the African economy. Plus, this is biodegradable. Well, Ruben, I'll tell you, hair is not cheap. This on my head. I don't even want to talk about this. Essence says, this is good work. Work on the packaging and start exporting equals mad funds. And as African women, unfortunately, we're still very Europeanized. And so this hair thing, it's big business. But moving on in our next story, this is my favorite story of the day, actually. Imagine walking up to an ATM, dropping in your gold chain, and walking away with cash in your account, all under 30 minutes. Now, that is now a reality in Shanghai, where China's Kinghood Group has launched a smart gold ATM. The machine melts, weighs, and tests the purity of gold on the spot and sends the cash value straight to your bank account. Now, with gold prices rising, many citizens are cashing in on old and generational gold wealth and looking to convert their stored wealth into spending power. Now, it's no secret that China in recent times, or in times have always tried to increase their gold reserves. And this is very interesting to see. It's a great recycling strategy, but it's also a national strategy for China to increase their gold reserves. I will also say that it's important that we note that this might not be sustainable in certain African countries, so don't get too excited yet. Let's take a look at some social media tweets. Suarez says, a gold ATM that melts your gold and sends the money straight into your bank. That is how China does innovation. Simple, fast, and powerful. And yes, finding new ways to mix old wealth with modern tech. We'll take one more tweet. Georgie Thomas says, how do they make sure it's not stolen gold? Or is crime totally absent in China? This is an extremely pertinent question. Now, team, we know that with the fact that monetary currency is very volatile and constantly changing and in flux due to inflation rates, do you guys think that this is sustainable? And do you guys think this is a smart move by China?
Super Sam?
Well, the world will continue moving. We've been dealing with cryptocurrency. Now we have gold currency in another form. The world has to come up with innovations. And the point is, are we ready for it? That is the question. Because there are going to be ethical issues. There are going to be issues about fraud and about measurement. We don't know how that is done. There has to be standardization, and there has to also be technological interoperability. In other words, technologies from one part must cohere with technology in another part. So this is just something that is just a snapshot in time and in place, and we don't know how that can spread and whether it will ever spread, because gold is not something that is easily accessible. Gold is not paper, and gold is, and it has to be genuine gold. You know, so it's not something that one can vouch for as something that can become mass produced or mass used by the people.
Because of our time.
Yes.
Quickly.
I think the other one is, what's the other one?
It's the eco-friendly.
Yeah, the eco-friendly one is very interesting, but the problem with Nigerians is that we don't invest. I mean, if it's a thing like that happens in a place like US, you get venture capitalists throwing their money in and trying to make huge business out of it, but we all wait for government to do it for us, but government cannot do everything. But I think that government can also put its eyes on this and say, look, we have loan facilities.
Okay, I know there's so much you want to say with regards to this. Unfortunately, it seems our time is up, but we can just... Okay, Olamide, I hear you have one more story.
I was so interested in what Mr. Sam was saying. I got lost. I'll take it away.
Right.
In our final story, as people around the world remember Pope Francis, a story from his childhood is making the rounds, one that shows that he was just a regular boy before becoming a global religious figure. Now, a woman called Amalia Damonte, who grew up in the same Buenos Aires neighborhood, says that a 12-year-old Jorge Mario Bergoglio once told her he wanted to marry her. But after her parents stepped in and stopped the friendship, he made a dramatic promise. He said, if I can't marry you, I'll become a priest. Now, Amalia never replied to his request, unfortunately, and their innocent childhood romance quietly faded. Another fun fact is that his sister, Maria Elena, also shared that he never actually wanted to become Pope. He used to joke about it, saying he wasn't interested and it was too much responsibility. But she says, regardless of that, his rise was a blessing and that he embraced it with all his heart. I'd like you guys to please chime in on any of these conversations that you found interesting with the hashtag TrendingNowTVC on any social media platform. I promise that we are listening. I think that we are all just humans at the end of the day. We have innate intrinsic needs for love and community and communion.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes, yes.
And of course, childhood romance often at times fades into the thin air like it did, because life will definitely happen along the way. And for the eco-friendly story, congratulations to the woman. We hope that she gathers as much support as she can on the long run at the end of the day. And also talking about every other thing, I guess Ria and Ibrahim will just want to touch on any of the stories quickly before we wrap up.
So quickly, I'll touch on the eco-friendly story. I don't know if you guys have seen that. They said that the normal attachment is really bad for women. So when I saw the story that she's making this out of natural things, I am really happy about it. And I really pray that not just the government, but we as individuals, I believe that a private company or someone to just go and invest in that and just see how we can make it great.
Yeah, so I love what China is doing. They are taking the lead in everything they're doing. So I'll say kudos to China, and I want them to, you know, keep more at this. Because of our time, there's so much I would like to say about China, but then
we have to go now. This is where we have to draw the curtains on the program for today. Let's let you know that the views and reaction of all our resource persons are theirs and have no connection with TVC News. Up next is Your View with the Ladies. Afterwards is This Morning with Yori Folari. To stay safe. Bye for now. And it was good to have you all through the show.
Thank you. And I think